These melodies began being delivered in the 1960s through songs that, though often rather nonsensical on the surface, pulsed with powerful emotional messages of love, hope, and joy. Through music, many of the sleeping began to stir. The first rays of dawn were heard on the radio before many even realized that there was a sky to look to. Yet our awakening is not complete until what has found form emotionally also finds form conceptually. What we know in our hearts requires the complement of conscious understanding to effectively approach the healing that lies before us. It is for this reason that I share these thoughts and memories. Our generation is now in the position to steward the earth and her resources. Will we foolishly imitate the ways of elder merchants and statesmen who are themselves only aping the ways of feudal lords, now thankfully removed from power? Or will we accept the commission to remake our world in the image of love? Now that I have surfaced in this age so long after the feudal lords have been removed, it surprises me to find the momentum of their ways still lingering on and attracting fresh human attention. Surely these lords must have commanded the allegiance of the earth's people well. It seems that humans have been so long trained for subservience that they now feel insecure under their own initiative. They lapse into following the shadows of these fearful feudal ways. Even when the shadows are in such short supply, they must create new ones just to continue their habit. The challenge before us is to reawaken ourselves and then to join with others to show through our example the beauty and power of the new way. We can leave behind the twilight stage that gave room for sleepy imagination to postulate that the awakening revolved around some guru or human organization. No matter how beautiful or enlightened, we are called to organize in this time not around leaders, ideologies, or belief systems, but around love, love for God, love for one another, and love for our sacred world. Those of you who were there with me, remember our circle. It is time to incarnate, to get on with the healing and educational work for which we have come. We have been seeded far and wide across the continents of the world. We listen to the same music as we drive to work in Hong Kong, London, Tokyo, and New York. We cherish the same vision of peace and disarmament as we watch children play in the parks of Cape Town, Paris, Singapore, and Rome. We dream the same dreams as evenings slide across Adelaide, Tel Aviv, Rio, and Leningrad. We witness the same events from Mexico City, Los Angeles, Toronto, and Berlin, even as they are occurring, broadcast live. We watch them together. We open our eyes in the deserts, in the mountains, in the forest, in the jungles, and cities of every nation. We are today's people. There is no one today to write our script but ourselves. History repeats itself no more than any other bad habit. And no habit, however deep or ingrained, will stand a chance of re-election where consciousness, honesty, and willing determination characterize human affairs. While our generation volunteered to facilitate the transition before us, the task is not exclusively our own. Many have helped, many are helping, and all are invited to contribute their talents and ingenuity. There is no conflict of interest. There is simply new insight and a sense that it is time for the ages to progress. Those of us in the United States are awakening within one of the most technologically advanced societies on this planet. With a new consciousness directing the tools and resources of our nation, we have immense capacity to benefit the entire human family. The government of our country can do no more than reflect the values and attitudes and principles by which we live our lives. What we see in the mirror, we see in the media. The love in our hearts, or the lack of it, underlines every congressional decision. We cannot overestimate the blessings that we might bring to the inhabitants of the less materially developed nations when our hearts are truly open. We should not be discouraged by the seemingly slow pace of attitudinal change within our institutions. The progression of awareness that precedes awakening is subtle and not always visible on the surface. It may take some time before our thoughts are reflected in the older and more entrenched human organizations. But I do not see our government as being among these. For all of its conspicuous failings, the United States system of government remains one of the most resilient and flexible of all human institutions. I foresee a day when it will be as responsive to the rivers, mountains, forests, and plains of North America and to the people who love them as it is today to the world's merchants. With an awakened and truly American consciousness, U.S. policy would not continue to reflect a European past. It would certainly not kowtow to short-term commercial and financial interests, whose advocates, spiritually speaking, have not yet noticed the new in front of York, Hampshire, or Jersey, to say nothing of the new before the order of the ages. As our generation enters into the corridors of power, it is not too much to hope that the government, which our ancestors created of the people, by the people, and for the people, will become one of our means of expression in the world. It is something to expect. With gratitude for all those who have contributed positively to our society, we consider the challenges, the blessings, and the opportunities that come with our stewardship. Excluding no one, we ask all to join us in taking a new look at how we can work with the tools and resources of our land. When thoughts reflect the creativity of compassionate hearts, even armed services can play meaningful roles in the mechanism of transition. For example, if approached sensitively, with the cooperation from all who might be touched by such an action, could there be a role for the U.S. Army in the transportation and distribution of food within and to the 21 African nations where our sisters and brothers are starving? Is there a way we can use our American influence to minimize violence in the world and to truly promote freedom? Is there a way to direct our nation's power independent of the financial interests that are attempting to use America in the last half of the 20th century like they used Britain in the 19th? Is there a way to put some Native American sensibility behind our existing technological infrastructure so it can serve to assist humankind's awakening into the new reality? We can draw strength from many things in America, from the sheer numbers of conscious beings who are interfacing daily with the eroding order, to the knowledge that for every Martin Luther King Jr. or Robert Kennedy whose expression has ever in our land been cut short, 1,000 more have bounced back to resume the work more determined, more alert, and better informed. It is understandable that our visionaries might occasionally draw to them animosity and remnants of fear, but this in no way diminishes what truly matters. They have helped to draw the human world another step closer toward the light. If a few such ones pass along the wayside, martyrs it would seem, for a vision not yet full, still the vision continues on. It continues to grow in strength and power and clarity until the very breast of humankind explodes in one great expression that is simultaneously both a longing and a rejoicing. It is from here, from within our hearts, that the power emerges to heal and transform. We are the world, live aid, hands across America, benefits by performers, athletes, and musicians untold. These and a rapidly proliferating number of non-governmental relief and service organizations are but a few beginning expressions of an emerging American spirit that is very much in tune with the Mayan calendar and no stranger to the Christian one.